It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back and happy holiday weekend. Happy Sunday fun day. Guys, if you don't have a drink, make sure you get one because this is going to be one long ASS show, but that's okay. We have a few of our favorite special guests joining us today. Not only do we have Jason revamping his channel, Down with Jason, coming in, so I'm going to bring him up. We also have Campfire, Fintero, Dana Wilkie, $25,000 sunglasses, Zach Peter, and a few more. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And without further ado, I say let's start bringing everyone up. First, let's welcome, hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh my gosh, it's like I don't get enough of you already.
Can I tell you? Well, I don't know what is going on with my camera. I feel like I'm like squished or slow or something, but you know, it's all this technical difficulties that we start with at the beginning that just, you know.
Yeah, and everybody gets an insight into my bedroom. That's great.
Yeah, it's my bedroom. It's my studio.
All right, guys. Well, we have a few other guests right now, and we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac and also some of this Erica Girardi stuff. Campfire did a video, and I'm so curious as to what exactly he was talking about. I have to go now, ladies first. That's why I started with Jason. So let me continue in this order. Hello, Natalie.
Hello. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a minute that I've been on your channel, Adam, but I'm so excited about today. It's party time. It's Sunday fun day, and we've got Jason here.
We have Jason, and not to mention, thank you so much because I know it's later over there on your time. So the fact that you could even make it, I just appreciate you.
I would never, ever miss this. I've called anything for you guys. You know that.
And
it's
guys,
a holiday
by the
weekend
way,
here, so we're
it's holiday weekend here. And guys, by the way, also, we're going to have Natalie, also known as Fintero. She's going to be joining us again back on our channel. She was moving. We had to get some things resituated, but we're back on it. So we'll figure out a time this week, and I'll keep you guys posted on the community tab. Now, we can't leave out the one guy, the one person who I like to, on YouTube, kind of hit him with my YouTube bus every once in a while, leave a little bit of tire tracks on his shirt, wherever else, I don't know. But hi, Campfire.
Hello. You know, people are gonna really think they're gonna really think that there's beef. You know,
let Campfire. I get more shit than you do, so just take it as a compliment. It's good.
I'm used to it.
It's all good.
I'm so excited, guys. We're only 2 minutes in, and we have over 200 people in the room. This is going to be an awesome show. Again, we're gonna do 30-minute segments with each group of people, and if you guys are still around, then we'll bring up everybody at the end to kind of just do one big, I don't know, Hunger Games on YouTube where everybody can just go at each other and have an opinion. It'll be great. But I want to bring up the first thing, and like I was talking about, for anyone who doesn't know, Campfire, myself, a few other people, we've all been collectively covering the Erica Girardi drama. And it's been insane. Now, I've been pretty on top of it, and there's a few other dramatic things happening like that have just kind of spidered off of the Erica Girardi drama, and I've been asked about it. I'm not commenting on it because I just don't even get involved. But, well, that was me commenting on it, even though I said I wasn't going to comment on it. But the point is, we're not here to talk about that. Campfire, you dropped a video about a tour manager. Can you tell us what's going on?
Oh my goodness. So you may recall Ronald Richards was on your channel talking about some of the expenses that EJ Global had, and we got to see a list of that. You know, we had to debunk that whole story about Lisa Rinna and her daughters possibly being that DNA incorporated. So that's already been debunked. But another charge on there was to Jerry Heller. If you know Jerry Heller, he's a legendary manager. He was, you know, the manager of NWA. If you saw, you know, Straight Outta Compton, you're familiar with his shady past. With that being said, his first cousin, Gary Balin, wrote a blog. And he probably wrote this blog who knows how long ago. And it wasn't a defamatory blog. It was really just talking about his experience as being the tour manager for Erika Jayne. And in explaining his experience with that, I don't think he realized that he was kind of showing us how the money was spent and possibly washed. Allegedly.
Yes, I was actually...
But most likely.
I was talking to Jason earlier because he was doing a few videos because, again, we're getting ready to kind of push his content out there and see what he comes up with. But as he was, I was like, allegedly. Don't forget that word. Allegedly, it's so important. That's what's going to stop you from losing your house, your bed, the blue lights in his background. You know what I mean? It's so important, and people forget how important that is.
Yeah.
Jason,
and the thing is, I think we use it so much. I think we have to find, and this is probably a great question for like Emily. How much do we have to say? Do we necessarily have to say it in the video, or can we just put it in the description or as a footnote? You know what I mean? So I think we overuse it to sort of protect ourselves, but I really want to know a better understanding, and probably the best person to ask would be Emily D. Baker about that.
Well, Emily D. Baker's at a children's birthday party today, so she's probably not going to answer that one today, but we do have to get to her. But I'm in the business of covering my ass, so
yes,
as long as I have to, I will be using allegedly. I was shocked, though, when you put out this video, and I was excited to see it. I'm so curious. We'll start with you, Natalie. How are you feeling about everything that keeps coming out? Because this just doesn't stop.
And it won't. It won't. I mean, we've done readings around them as well with Campfire. And I can tell you also what I pick up intuitively. Everything that everyone's been feeling, kind of like, well, what most people have been feeling about the whole Erica Girardi and Tom Girardi case, I feel that's the case. I really don't. I did a reading. I don't see them finding the money. It's untraceable. It's somewhere, but it's untraceable. And also I do feel, and this is my personal opinion, professional opinion, I'm going to say that Erica knew very well what was going on, hence the divorce. And I think we're kind of seeing it now on the show, where we're seeing how she's backtracking on how she's behaving. I was even telling Campfire a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, have you seen how her image has changed in this season? Like, have you seen how she dresses up? She's always wearing like jackets and like more, like still sort of sexy and fashionable, but more conservative, not so, right? More modest.
But not conservative enough. You know, that's what I think people were looking for. I mean, in my opinion, I don't feel that remorse from her. I just did a video, and of course I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties. You know, I should have done this yesterday, like you said, but I'm not feeling that remorse from Erica at all. You know, I mean, she's victimizing herself this whole season that, you know, she has to drive a Range Rover, you know, God forbid, live in a nice house in West Hollywood. You know, like she has no space, like she lives in the doghouse. It's insane to me that like you can even film.
Well, and I agree with you on that too, Jason. Before I chime in on that, thank you so much for the super sticker, and we miss you. I do want to bring up this comment because someone said, E to the K, what about the victims? They'll find the money. Now, Jason was talking about today, and I don't want to ruin his video, but it just came out in headlines, and I just had a conversation with Kimberly Archie, who was featured on The Housewife and The Hustler. If you guys aren't familiar, get familiar. It was this documentary on Hulu, and it was this woman right here, Kimberly Archie. She's been super involved when it comes to helping the Rui Gomez family get the money back for their son, Joe, who was unfortunately, he suffered, I believe, was it 90% of his body that suffered burns? It was something terrible. Like, it was, atrocious. And she actually used to work for Tom Girardi. Now, she's coming out and saying that if in fact this tax fraud is true, that Ronald Richards came out and put on my channel, if this is all true, then the money will first and foremost go to the IRS. They come before the debtors, the creditors, anyone. The IRS is the only, I believe you call them the only agency that can actually come in and seize your bank accounts, take over. They can do whatever they want. So what does this mean for the victims? And everyone keeps asking, will the victims get paid back? If this is the case, and there's over $20 million in tax deductions, allegedly, that's another $20 million that the IRS is probably going to be like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Where the hell is our money?
Yeah.
Well, I have a theory, and I don't know if I'm right, okay? It's just a theory, but I think the reason why Erica hasn't apologized or hasn't shown remorse on the show is because if she does, it's almost like showing guilt. It's almost like admitting guilt and taking accountability. That's my theory. I think that is why we haven't heard or we haven't seen that yet?
We have, she did though. She did say that it was at one of the dinner parties. We have so many dinner parties this season where she said that the victims do need their mony. She said that.
Yeah, but Garcelle was the one who initiated the conversation.
Right, but it's I don't know. This for me is just so dirty. Everything is so dirty on this. I don't even want to touch it. I go to watch, whatever accusations Ronald Richards is throwing out of the day, or what Emily D. Baker has to say. Like, I really love watching your channel for that and following it. Covering it. Geez, it's so dirty to me. This whole thing.
So grimy.
Yeah.
It does. Campfire has no problem covering it, though. So if you don't
I was
want
just about to say that. I'm like, well, you know what? The reason why, besides it being part of what we already recap, but the reason why I think it's also necessarily important to cover it is because so many people are talking about the money and all this other stuff, and they do forget to talk about the victims. And I think it's important that we continue to talk about the victims and continuously bring up their names.
I agree with that. I agree
Same.
with that. I want to segue into a different topic really quick, because we could beat this Girardi pinata all day, and at the end of the day tomorrow it's going to be like it was put back together again, only because there is a new update every single day, and Ronald Richards is constantly coming out with new tweets, whether it's about Erica Girardi or anything else that's going on. And there's more news that continues to unfold. I read a comment the other day from one of the fans that said, if Erica Girardi comes back on the show next season, I'm not watching. I get where people are coming from. It's almost like when everyone decided to boycott Real Housewives of Orange County because of Kelly Dodd and her wearing the Drunk Wives Matter hat, and then going on and saying that she doesn't have white privilege and letting her mouth overload her. She said so much where the fans just kind of turned on her and decided, we're not watching the show if you continue to open your mouth and if you bring this woman on and give her a platform. Now for Erica, the network is a business, and they're experiencing such great ratings because the scandal is continuously unfolding and it's not stopping. And they've already stopped filming aside from the reunion. And we know this probably has a good 6 to 12 months left in it, maybe even more. I just want to go around the room. Actually, I'll ask you, Jason, do you think Erica Girardi will be coming back?
I mean, she has to. That's her paycheck. That's what she does.
But do you think the network will give her the platform again?
I don't know. I guess it's only time will tell, and we'll see what happens with this case. I don't know how long this is going to take. It's getting dragged out pretty long, and it seems like it's going to be a lot longer from here on out. So I don't know.
Okay. Campfire?
I don't know. I have a feeling she won't return next season, unless something really dramatic happens between now and then. Maybe she will come back, especially if it's not bad for her image. It's already been bad for her image. I don't know if I want to see her come back, but then there's the other side of things. She's the only one really with the storyline this season. This storyline is carrying the season. And thankfully for Sutton and Garcelle, they're helping to make it a part of the season and be an actual interesting part of the season, because she easily could just sort of breeze through the season, very much like Dorit. So much legal stuff going on, and no one has talked about it.
Right. No, it's true. And I see Natalie over here, and she's thinking hard, but I feel like you've already asked the cards. So, Natalie, if you had to guess.
I haven't asked for that far, but I'll tell you what I think. It depends on her legal team, because I do think that on one hand that her legal team or her PR team were behind it, and they did urge her to go on this season, I feel, because things were already happening. So I kind of feel that maybe this was sort of like damage control this season for her, she thought. But now, with all the backlash and everything going on, I don't think, if I was her lawyer, I wouldn't allow her to go back, like to have another season, to be honest. I think it's actually more damaging than anything, than her like keeping low, staying low, and just like, focusing on that. We'll see. I don't know.
But what do you think, though, if she did leave? Like, we've heard the same thing going back and forth with Erica Girardi and also Jen Shah. If Erica Girardi ended up leaving the show, what would she do as her main source of income?
Marry rich.
Listen, we have a lot of friends who keep saying they're going to do that if their careers don't work out. So,
but also we have to remember there's someone paying for these legal bills. We don't know who, but I believe she has a rich benefactor.
All right.
She's found one before.
I'm going to break.
Yes, she did.
Megan Sue 819. Thank you for the super chat. I liked the question yesterday on Campfire's channel asking, what about the money that went to the mistresses in campaign funds, etc.? I believe we talked to Emily D. Baker about that, and I don't know. She said when it comes to services paid, now I'm not calling the mistresses services paid, but she said that when it comes, like for the Glam Squad, they don't have to pay it back because it's services paid. And for the campaign funds, I don't think that they would have to pay it back. But my question is, would the mistresses have to pay it back? Or that technically, that's Campire's question. I don't think that they would. I think that that's so far in the past that I don't think they'd have to pay back a dime, right? Unless they can prove that they were receiving like, I don't know, $189,000 Cartier ring.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's a very interesting question, but I don't think that's high on the radar for, Ronald Richards. I think his focus right now really is Erica Girardi because she has the most of what would have been Tom's money.
Well, I do want to bring this up too really quick. Here, where is it? Lori, do we have to pay money to have our questions answered? No, absolutely not. I'm trying to see as they come through, but I'm also trying to look at the camera and have a conversation at the same time. So when I see your questions, if I see your questions, I will definitely get to them. But thank you, Lori. Okay. All right. I want to bring up the next topic really quick. I don't know what Jason's doing over there, but
I'm trying to fix this camera. It's just been a day.
Erica has a new sugar daddy. Thank you, Allie, the mama bear, for the super chat. Erica has a new sugar daddy. That's how she's paying for everything. It's obvious. Okay. I want to bring up this, and I'm going to transition from Beverly Hills to Potomac really quick. We've all been watching Potomac, and it's been a little bit of a shit show, but the ratings are amazing. So we have to give that to them because Campfire and I have talked about New York, and we fall asleep during it. Orange County had the worst ratings ever. Dallas was not the best. Beverly Hills is holding it, but so is Potomac. So we have to give it to them. But the latest rumor that's going on in Potomac is word on the street, mouth of the South, whatever you want to call her, Giselle Bryant is going in. And she's going in on Dr. Wendy Osefo, throwing stones, but making sure her hands are clean. And of course, you have her stage 5 clinger, also known as her shadow, also known as Robin Dixon, joining in on the fun. Campfire, am I just being extra shady today?
Yes, you are on a Sunday of all days.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it's the rosé. I blame the rosé.
Oh,
cheers.
All right.
Okay, so I want to go around the room because Dr. Wendy Osefo has already addressed the rumor saying that only hurt people, and that's probably why Giselle is doing exactly what she's doing, and she needs a storyline and is trying to deflect. But Robin and Giselle think that Dr. Wendy Osefo is not built to be on the show because if she can't handle it, they all get to rumors thrown at them. They all have to answer them. And they've been around for seasons. But for Dr. Wendy Osefo, for some reason, they think she can't handle it. I have a few questions. I'm going to start around the room. My first question is, do you think Dr. Wendy Osefo, that she can't handle it or that you hit a nerve because you're talking about her family? Natalie, I'll start with you.
Well, obviously it's going to hit a nerve because they are talking about her family and it's all public. But then again, when you're a public figure, you kind of expect that people are going to hit below the belt and family is part of it. Although I don't agree with it. And I think family, husbands, kids should be out of bounds completely. But we all know Giselle likes to stir the pot. That's what she does best. She hasn't had a storyline in a long time. I mean, a real one.
She's like the Lisa Rinna of Potomac.
Exactly. You know, having her around because she's the bone carrier. She is the pot stirrer. So I think Wendy's got good reason for reacting the way she does. And, at least there's something that we can watch right now, which is more fun than New York.
Okay. All right.
Anything's more fun than New York this season.
Mm-hmm.
I remember starting 5 minutes of it with Adam every single time. And I was like, I'm going to go watch something else.
Campfire, were you yawning at New York or are we boring?
I was not yawning at all. I was just shocked.
Oh, okay. All right. Campfire, for you, do you think that it's that she can't handle it or they struck a chord because you're talking about her family? I definitely have an opinion on this too, by the way.
I'm sure you do. So there were a couple things that came out this week from Potomac. Giselle did an interview with a podcast revealing that she had spoken to Dr. Wendy Osefo about this rumor before the season began off camera. Dr. Wendy Acefo replied to that story and said that's not true. I'm not sure. You know, the sneak peek for tonight's episode, we get to see her bring up these rumors to Eddie again and how it played out in Williamsburg. And she starts crying. It's hard for me to understand. I understand it's her family, but every time they bring up these rumors, she has this really, really strong reaction to it, which makes me think that maybe it might be true.
So like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I have to say too, you know, if anybody came to me and just, if I had like a good group of girlfriends, which I don't, but if I did, and they came to me and they're like, oh, I don't know if you saw it in the blogs, but Jason's cheating on you. I don't think I would start crying. I would just be like, show me the receipt. If this is true, I want to know, because I'm going to go in the house and with like a chainsaw and take half of everything, whether it's the couch, the kitchen island, the cell phone. I'm taking half of everything. So show me the receipts. I'm not going to cry. You're just going to see a totally different side. I don't think her reaction, I like you said, Campfire, it's over the top. Jason actually would surprise you because he has strong reactions too. Would you react this way if somebody came to you and said, Adam's cheating?
What? Who, me?
Yes. Would you start crying? Would you be bawling? Would you be flipping out on everybody?
I don't know, because, you know, the younger me would be flip out. You would probably be dead, you know, behind a garbage can somewhere. That would be the younger me. But now I need to like talk it out and see the proof and not just, you know, flip out like the younger me used to do. No, but like in regards to Wendy Acefo, I mean, you know what? Maybe there is some personal things going on, but she is prepared. You know, like I love seeing her feel good about herself. I love seeing her new body. I love how she flaunts it. I love how she's dressing. She's just coming in with a bang, and she's prepared to handle everything, whether it's at home or the ladies at the table. So
I agree.
She's giving me a good vibe, you know, this season. I feel like she got her groove back.
I was going to say that I agree with you, Jason. I do think it has to do with how vulnerable she was at the time when she found out. Because if there was just a lot going on in her personal life and that was, you know, that came on top of it, even if she doesn't believe it, she's going to react to it. So, but I also agree with Campfire, where there's smoke, there's fire. And yes, and I do believe that there's something there. But you know, we can't just assume something just because she reacted the way she did, because we all react differently.
But every time, like I understand it in front of the group, but every time the Eddie rumors come, like I see, we're getting Erica moments this episode tonight, y'all. Be ready. The mascara is coming down, makeup running. I'm like, and look, you're right. And this goes back to last season. Everyone has a different reaction, but it's saying something else to me in regards to Wendy. There's something going on.
Unless Kemp, she was cheated. There was cheating in the past, and that is like still an open wound for Wendy. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I'm trying to see all sides.
And I can also actually, not to cut you off, Natalie, but a good example of that was New Jersey when Margaret Joseph struck a chord with Jennifer Aiden, and she's like, "That's why your husband has his girlfriend in the pool house," and she's like, "Shut your mouth," and starts freaking out. And now we know that that's going to be the whole main storyline for season 12, is the fact that there was infidelity at the beginning of their marriage.
Allegedly.
But most likely. That's what I like to say.
Jersey's gonna be good.
Are you saying everybody cheats, Jason?
No, I'm just saying most of these people who like to portray themselves as something on television, you know, whether it's rich like Erica, or whether it's, you know, having this perfect marriage or this perfect thing, you know, that stuff does come out being on a reality show. So that's something you have to be prepared for. But where there is smoke, and there's a lot of smoke surrounding that particular topic, you know, there might be a little bit of fire.
And the smoke also might be on his Instagram.
Oh, not the unfollowing 200 big booty models. Okay. Lori, Wendy is too mad, makes me think the rumors are true. Okay. I'm thinking the rumors are true. Anna. I'm thinking the rumors are true because of how she is reacting. I am there many times. Also, Danielle, she's Nigerian. I'm not surprised. Have you seen a Nollywood movie, Dramatic AF? No, I can't say I have. Let's talk Beverly Hills. We have, but again, we're going to be recapping everything at the end, so we will. What time did this started, Sarah? Well, it started at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so thank you for joining us. And no, I mean, honestly, it's been an interesting season so far. We're going to have to continue to see how it plays out, but my main interest is not the Dr. Wendy Osefo and the cheating rumors. I really hope it's not true because I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, especially because they have a family. She had a baby in the NICU, you know, and she just came out of postpartum. She's feeling herself, like Jason said. She's working on her body. I would hate to see this come true, but what I do want to see is that Sally get tossed by Mia Thornton. I do want to see that, and I'm not condoning violence because throwing salad at somebody is not violent. And if it is, it's not like mollywopping somebody.
That is another question that we need to ask Emily D. Baker because that might be considered assault.
Really? Would that be assault?
Yeah.
Throwing salad?
I said might be. I said that's why we have to refer to the attorney.
Oh my gosh.
That
makes me think I could have caught a charge a time or two.
Oh, probably.
Okay, Campfire. This is my must get you over with. If you want to run me over, just invite me back to the channel. I'll be back.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So no, with that, I mean, it's going to be an interesting season. I know that we're obviously all watching. You guys in the chat, I'm curious what you think. What are you looking forward to most from the rest of the season? What storyline is getting you? I've asked Campfire this before, but I do want to ask Natalie and Jason. I'll start with you, Jason. We all know Robin. We know that she's kind of the shadow of the show. She's always following Giselle around. We don't really know how she's staying on the show.
We do.
I don't know if it's the shadow or the ghost because I don't see her very often and I don't really know anything about it. Robin is so boring. Like, I don't know how I mean, we do know how she stays there. Her and Giselle are just playing this up. But I mean, like, if you could.
Boring?
Just so boring, you know? Robin Dixon. We're talking about the same person, right? I mean, do you want to show me where she's been interesting at all the past? How many seasons of Potomac have there been?
She built a house.
6.
Everyone can build a house, Adam. You know, like I don't know what else. You know, when are you getting married? Is that going to happen? Is that what we're trying to save for next season so you can stay on the show? Is that what we're waiting for? Because I mean, if we want to see marriages, we'll watch Vanderpump Rules.
Wait. When are you guys getting married? Huh?
In Greece in June when we come visit you.
As Santaro drives over Adam right now.
Campfire loves that moment. Okay, Askella over there down in the right-hand corner. I see what you just did. Not paid by anyone. Monique leaving secured Robin's spot. Megan Sue, just want to thank Adam and Campfire for being so real. Natalie, your MJ read had me in tears. Looking forward to watching Jason. Thank you. Sarah something. Legitimate. That's the name, so I'm not being rude. She's a beast, Jason. Gosh.
She might be.
Jason.
I'm just saying, you know, like, I don't know what we're going to see from her. So I'm from the area, the DMV area, you know, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Potomac is a great area. There are so many amazing women that you could put in her place. You know, I don't know why we're not doing that. It's just, you know, it's such a great season, but can you imagine just having one more element like that? It would be phenomenal.
And I also think it would be amazing to have Giselle as a standalone. I think that's super important. Giselle needs to stand alone because she always knows that if she has something to say, then she has like her shadow over here who chimes in on the subject and will always have her back. She knows Giselle pays her mortgage. So
I would love to see Giselle I want to see her vulnerable. That's what I would love to see. Yeah, you took the
I don't
word
think
right
it's
out
going
of my
to
mouth.
happen because Mia Thornton is auditioning to be the new lackey.
How? Why do you say that?
Yeah, I could see that.
I watch things on social media, and you also see it on the show. She's sort of trying to, I'm Karen's friend, but I want to be your friend too. She did.
Well, she doesn't want to be Candace's friend. And Candace doesn't want to be my friend, so we're all kind of...
She definitely doesn't want to be my friend, so that's great.
Okay.
That's all right. Candace is no one's friend.
Little offspring.
No, and she doesn't need to be. There's another one who could go, really. If you want to keep it interesting, I'm just saying, you know, one moment. See, my thing. No, but I'll tell you my thing about Candace just really quick. I didn't have a shot of anything. And we'll save that for later. But like, my thing about Candace is I really like her coming into the season. I like when she's controlled. I like when she's calm. I like to see that side of Candace. Candace doesn't know who she is. One minute she is a member of the Democratic Black Caucus, which I have friends that actually worked with her in that. And I'm going to stop there. Then the next day she's this leader for empowering women, and now she's a pop star. And I don't know if she knows.
She could be multifaceted.
Sure. Yeah, but you need a lot of talent for that. You know what I mean? So I just feel like
in the shade.
No, I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying,
Jason does not agree with you, Jason. Candace got a great voice. She has talent.
Yeah, she does have a great voice, but then do that. Don't drift off. Like in your one moment you're this. She always wants to label herself, and I feel that's very constricting. And I want to see her succeed. I actually do want to see her be amazing on the show. I don't want to see her, get in an altercation with another housewife. I want to see her go the opposite way of where I think she's already going to go. And
Jennifer Lopez sings, acts, and dances. Why can't she do it?
I don't know about dancing. She can sing. She can sing.
Okay.
Well, I think, look, I think Candace's season came in with an agenda. I have to reframe my whole personality, my image on the show. That's why we have the kids there. That's where we're focused on my career. But if you see Candace on social media, if you see Candace in interviews, she is insufferable. And I want to like Candace, but you can read her. And look, speaking of reading energy, hey, Femtera, you can read her energy. She is,
Yeah, I agree. She's all over the. I mean, I don't get good vibes from her. I don't know if I want her on the show. I was going to ask you guys, do you want her on the show? Would you like to see her next season? Or
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think I would like to see her on the show, but I want to see her completely evolve. I would love to see her, like, first of all, does that relationship work? Do you need your husband to be your manager? Do you, we see that fight coming up. I think there might be maybe an issue. I don't know. I would like to see her on the show. I just would like to see her grow and evolve.
Okay.
Well, she's growing, isn't she? Her mom's no longer on the show. I mean, because we had a couple of seasons.
Oh, she's coming back. Dorothy is
this week.
That's how Candace stays on the show, because you get Dorothy also.
That's like Mama D.
Right.
But to be honest, Candace is very entertaining. Like her confessionals, her shade, it's very entertaining. It's very Housewives. I have to give her credit.
I agree with Campfire. I want to chime in on that really quick. Chocolate Chunk 07 said, what if Erica has been cheating on Tom with the same benefactor that is currently paying her bills? Or what if she had him waiting in the wings?
I'm sure.
Never say never. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that theory. I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, right? Do we know anything about that? No. But I feel like I've seen worse within my own family. So I'm sure I can imagine that, Love you guys. Okay. But when I come to Candace, I do want to chime in and say this really quick. I love her shade on her confessionals, which I think it takes that to be a great housewife. And I love her reads. I think she's really good with that. Sometimes I don't fully understand her, but that doesn't mean that I don't like her on the show. I just want to see more from her. And like we've seen from other housewives, we see them constantly evolving. And for Candace, I'm hoping to see that as well. So, and she also, unfortunately, in some for some crazy reason, she is kind of a common denominator when it comes to some of the altercations or knockout dragouts that happen on the show. It's happened with Ashley Darby and the butter knife, Monique Samuels, and now we're about to see it with Mia Thornton. It keeps people talking, and it keeps the super trailers interesting. So we have to give her that.
But she's also young, right? How old is Candace?
30.
Does anyone know? 30-ish, right?
How old is?
Does anyone in the chat know?
She's definitely in her 30s. I mean, she's grown.
Grown enough to act better.
Well, I wanted to say
Sometimes she reacts.
I hope that Candace
33,
turns out to be like Gigi from Charles, who Gigi was very volatile, very, out there, too aggressive at times. We weren't sure if we liked her or hated her. And now she's grown, she's become a mom. So maybe if Candace gets pregnant and has a baby and she grows and she matures, she'll be better for TV.
That's the way that she talks about being pregnant, though, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm feeling.
I want to bring up these really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and bring up Zach Peter. We're going to drop Campfire and Finn for a little bit. And if you guys want to stay around again, remember we're doing a mashup at the end, so you're more than welcome to. I'd love to have you guys still on. Carrie Edge said, hoping Team Kent has something up his sleeves for the reunion. Wondering if you guys would be willing to lead a fan fundraising effort for the victims. That's interesting. We'd have to figure out how to get that money to the victims
in the appropriate way. That's
right.
That's a good idea, but we would have to really do our due diligence on making sure that they get the money.
Yeah, exactly. And Dulcinea Dames Tucker said more Jason on the channel, more Jason and his opinion on the Jason, I don't know what's going on.
You'll get enough on mine, I promise.
Okay. All right. Campfire and Finn, if you guys are around, please come back and join, because we will, again, be bringing everybody up at the end. And also, guys, if you're not, I totally understand, but thank you so much to you both for joining me. Before you go, just in case you end up opting out, because I know Femtero, it's late there, can you at least let us know where we can find you guys, just in case?
Well, who starts? Campfire?
Well, ladies first.
Ladies first.
All right, then, since I'm the only one on the panel.
No, I meant Campfire. No, I'm kidding, Campfire. I'm kidding. Okay.
God.
Right, so you can find me here on YouTube. I have my own channel at Femtero. I collab with Adam as well on his channel, with Campfire on his channel, and my channel. And now we have a nice little surprise on Jason's channel. We're prepping something. We will be collaborating, and it's something different than I do to the with the other channels. You'll have to wait and see about that. I'm also in social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, TikTok. Haven't been using it a lot, but you can still follow me there as Femtero.
All right. Thank you, Femtero. We appreciate you. And Campfire, watch this, guys.
You guys can subscribe to my channel.
I apologize ahead of time.
You guys can subscribe to my channel, Campfire Daily, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. And of course, subscribe to my podcast, Campfire Radio.
All right. Guys, stick around. We will bring you back up, and thank you so much. Right.
Bye, guys.
All right, guys, we're about to bring up Zach Peter. If you don't know him, you need to get to know him. And if you're not following him right now on social media, you should, because there's a lot of stuff happening with him. We're not going to be talking about that today on here, but check out his Instagram, because he definitely is. Real quick before we do, love your channel, Adam. Love your panel today too. Callie Real, thank you so much. And also, Megan, question. We always want these people to grow and learn. When they don't, we bash them. When we don't, we bash them. Example, Lisa Rinna, yes or no? We'll think on that for a second. We'll think on that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Zach Peter. Hello.
Oh
Hello.
God, Zach.
How are you?
Jason, you better be drinking some rosé right now.
I can't. I am drinking rosé. Yours is gone, unfortunately, but yours leaves me a little like whack at the end of the night. I'm gonna have to say, it's potent.
It gets
It's
litty city.
extremely. It.
He means whack in the best way possible too, by the way.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, in the best way. There's nothing wrong with no. But
No,
it's
Jason's
fantastic.
like
It just gets me very drunk. That's all.
What
Which
else
is
is
what
the point of
to
it?
do. Yeah, there's no point of drinking. Look at, I'm not hiring a hooker just to cuddle for the night. Like, we're going all the way.
I like that.
You know what would be the best time to drink it is during Real Housewives of New York. Just drink it.
Oh, yeah.
Drink
we
it.
need
Drink
it.
it,
We need
drink
it
it.
during New
You need
York.
it.
Just so you
Yeah.
can get through the episodes? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Zach, thank you so much for coming back. And if you guys don't know, well, you wouldn't know. Can I tell them what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we will be going on Zach's podcast again, which we're super excited. I don't know what we'll be talking about yet, but the point is we're just always happy to have another co-collaborator on the show. And Zach just celebrated his podcast being in the top 100. I looked at it and it was at 99, and then I looked again and it was at 94. Do we have the current number?
That's amazing.
I mean, it's been growing. Like you said, some stuff has happened on social media that's helped it grow. So I'm coming for that top 10. Alex Cooper, Joe Rogan, watch out. Zach Peter is coming for the charts.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations, because that's amazing. And a lot of people don't realize how much work it takes to get your podcast, your channel, whatever it is in there. And you're constantly working your ASS off. I don't know if you're drinking when you're doing it, drinking your rosé, or what you're doing, but you're doing the damn thing. So it's something to celebrate.
Yeah, I mean, the chart, you have to get downloads and you have to get reviews, and I'm a hustler, baby. I might come out with a lip kit soon.
Okay. All right. Relax, Zach. Relax.
You might have lost me there, but if you want to do another like line of wine, that'd be great.
Then we support you.
That'd be great.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. So, Zach, I wanted to bring you on because I know that, again, it's Sunday Fun Day. It's also a holiday weekend, so I don't want to keep all of your time, but I did want to talk about a topic that's going on in the Bravo world. We've heard rumblings about it, but now a new headline came out saying that this might actually play into the new season. So what I'm talking about is the Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 12. They've already wrapped filming, but we know, as always, Teresa Giudice is a main part of the storyline. Why? Well, because she's Teresa Giudice and it's her damn show, just to be fair. But this season, we get to see more of her new man, Luis Ruelas. It seems like they're kind of moving fast. They bought a $3 million home, 3 houses down from her brother. They're putting, well, it's a $3.3 million home. They're putting $3 million in renovations, and they're claiming it's just an investment property, while the rest of us are thinking you might have just got your family home. But now we're hearing that Margaret Josephs is spreading around on camera everything that we've been hearing about him, which is that he could be sexually abusive, controlling, and also punish his exes. This is what we've heard, that he punishes his exes if he doesn't get sex 4 times a day. Zach, do you think any of this could be true?
Adam, you love to invite me on when you have the controversial topics, and then I get dragged in the comments. You know, because I listen. My podcast is called #NoFilter. I always serve it straight, serve fresh weekly, baby. I think, like you, I've heard these rumors about Louis for a while. I mean, I've seen like screenshots of like tantric Facebook groups that he was heavily involved in. I've heard from some of his exes myself. So these aren't things that are new to me. I would imagine they're not new to the cast either. So I do find it a little convenient that we waited a minute before we brought them up. Like, I thought this would have been a great opportunity for Jackie to bring it up last season when, you know, they were bringing up rumors about her husband. And, you know, I guess we just introduced Louis at the tail end of last season. So this may be the most appropriate time. I don't know if there's ever appropriate time, but in terms of like camera time, this may have been the best season to bring it up. I hear Margaret Josephs is bringing up a lot of allegations. I just hope, you know, her Joe is squeaky clean because she's coming after the men this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love me some Marge. I love me some Marge.
I love Marge too, but also I like a bone carrier. And I like one who's not like, you know, we know Giselle is always the bone carrier every season for Potomac, but Marge kind of slips in there and slips back out. I like when we get a surprise bone carrier. And I think that's exactly what Marge is.
Yeah, I mean, I think we expect it from Jennifer, but to get it from Marge this season, I'm like, okay, we understand why she came for Danielle because there was like a falling out and there was like a genuine hurt within their friendship. But I mean, for her to come after Teresa, now we're getting bold. Like nobody comes for Teresa or you end up like Kathy Wakili. Who?
But just to be fair, though, Teresa was the one who told Danielle Staub to pull her hair. So when this all came out, she might have been like, oh, girl.
Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Timing is a little convenient because we waited for the dust to settle, and now she's coming in with the daggers.
Okay. Well, I guess moving on, my next question for you, and, you know, I'll go with you and then I'll ask Jason. The women think that right now Teresa might be blindsided by love and that this could be something that is totally going over her head because after spending time in jail, having her family ripped apart, paying the restitution, watching her daughters hurt, and having her husband deported, she just wants... I was going to make a pineapple joke, but I'm not going to, which would be very on brand for our conversation, Zach. She just wants love. Do you think she could be jaded here?
I think so. I mean, after everything that she's been through, I understand that, like, at some point you just want a sense of normalcy. Like, she's lost both of her parents. She's gone to prison. She got divorced. She's had to pay back all of the debt that her husband accumulated. That, you know, you at some point you want a man that's going to be willing to take care of you. And it's unfortunate when you're on a reality show because then I think there are men, not saying that this is Louis, but there are men that will take advantage of a woman in a vulnerable situation emotionally and kind of jump on. I mean, we're going to have to see how much he's going to be involved in the show. That's where I'm really going to put on my detective hat and be like, well, is he trying to jump into every episode or is he just, you know, trying to dip in, dip out? I want to know, you know, how thirsty he's actually going to be because we see them with the paparazzi everywhere they go. And like Melissa Gorga said, there's no paparazzi in Jersey.
Okay. Jason, do you think that she could be jaded or do you think that...
I mean, listen, absolutely. You know, when you come out of a really shitty relationship, something that's dragged on for a long time. Like Teresa at her age, she has a second act still, so I think she's excited for to have someone to do that second act with, to be there with them, I maybe is it a little too soon, too fast? I mean, I don't know. I would say yes. If you come out of a shitty relationship, you're looking for something new, someone says the right things to you. I mean, I was a sucker for that at one time.
Is she fresh out of a relationship though? Because like her and Joe have been done for a minute, and we've seen her with all these young boys that I feel like she spread her seed, and now she's ready for a man to come in.
God. And you started
and bring up the tantra.
Listen, Zach, 100%. I would have to agree with you there.
Okay, I want to bring this up really quick. Thank you, Adam Summers. We appreciate you. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. I'm going to bring this up and handle it with kid gloves because we still have Ronald Richards coming on and giving us exclusives, but we did get a super sticker. I am the Karen Huger in this relationship, okay? If you guys remember, Real Housewives of Potomac Season 5, Karen Huger did not choose a side. She just looked at everyone and was like, I just want everyone to get along. And that's me. Unless you're living in my home, then nobody gets along, okay? But getting back to it, I'm just kidding, guys. Yeah. We love Jason. Megan Sue said, while Zach is on, will you please address your differences regarding Ronald Richards? Love you both, but I agree with Zach. Ronald Richards seems like a clout chaser to me. It should only be about the victims. I do have to say one thing really quick. I know that everybody is going to have an opinion about this because this is one of the biggest scandals in Bravo. And I also said I wasn't going to talk about it. But since you brought in the super chat, super sticker, I can't ignore it. I think the main thing here is, and we can't let it get lost in all of the chaos, is the victims. Now, everyone is hoping that they get paid back. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of this. Whether you like Ronald Richards or you don't, we're all hopefully collectively just hoping whoever's out there doing the job does the job that gets the money. I think we can agree on that. I don't know. Like I've never been out on a freight, which is a friend date with Zach. Would love to, Zach. You want to get pina coladas or just drink your rosé by your rooftop pool?
Always ask me if we're dating all the time in the DMs. So
I get that too. Jason laughs at it. He's like,
I wish I had more time on my hands.
But, I think we all have hopefully collectively the same goal. We just want to see whether it's the trustee, whoever, just getting the money paid back for the victim. So I'm going to kind of switch this a little bit. Zach, does
the money that Ronald Richards gets goes to the victims too, or is that not a thing?
So if Ronald Richards does end up finding money, from what we're hearing, and I'm sure if he's watching this, then he will let me know if I'm wrong.
He will.
If Ronald Richards does end up getting or discovering some sort of money where they credit him for getting that money, then he will get 40 to 45% back, we're hearing. But we also have heard too that he's putting hundreds of thousands of dollars from his own firm work and time into investigating all of this. So it's almost like, Jason, remember when we did real estate and we spent a shit ton of money and then we ended up, you know what I mean? And then you put all this money out there hoping that you have like a great long career and we're going to get a big return. And then you're like, what the happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like that.
Yeah. To address it though, I do want to reiterate what you just said. Like the priority really needs to be the victims. That's what you do this for, Adam. That's what I do this for. And I believe somewhere, Ron has that objective as well. And I think, it's easy to get caught up in the social media drama of it all. But at the end of the day, like everybody just wants to see justice happen. And that's really where the priority should lie. I will say that $100,000 of expenses does get returned to him at the end of the investigation. On top
is that
of
true?
That is true. I'd have confirmation from him in my DMs because he DMs me all the time. I will say, look, I want
you guys have a great relationship, a great budding relationship.
We really do. It's playing out on Twitter. Look, this is the priority is the victims, and I think my place has always been, everyone wants to wonder why or how Tom Girardi got away with all of this for so long. And it's because we didn't hold each other accountable. So I know I can be a bit cheeky and be a bit shady, but at the end of the day, I believe that we are all on the same page and we all have the same objective of helping the victims. And that's what all of us should continue to do and hold each other accountable. Look, I say things on my podcast all the time and people are like, well, is this actually helping the victims or is this you just being shady? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. Let me take that feedback and let me, pivot and course correct and make sure that the priority is always on, taking down the big giants that are out there. And I will say the further that I investigate, I think, my opinion is shifting and it's changing and it's evolving like the way I think we should all, be as this huge scandal continues to unfold.
Oh, okay. Okay. And, obviously you saw Kimberly Archie on the Juicy Scoop podcast. It was her first interview that she did since The Housewife and the Hustler. And she said that if what Ronald Richards said on my channel, that there is this alleged tax fraud with almost $20 million in tax deductions, if this all is in fact true, then the IRS comes first. Right? Mm-hmm. They will be paid before the creditors, the debtors, the victims. And she said, honestly, at the end of the day, bringing up this information could hurt the victims more than it could help them, because how is all of this money going to get paid back? She almost made it sound like, and she said she talks to the victims, they have like a chat. Yeah. She almost makes it seem like they're never going to see their money. And at some point, I feel like they're losing hope.
To piggyback off of that, you also have to remember that once the money comes into the estate, yes, everyone that's working on the investigation, they get their piece, they get their expenses reimbursed. And then the lenders are the ones that are first in line because they're the ones that have gotten their debts secured in court. So the victims, most of them are, really innocent in all of this and didn't realize they needed to go and fight for court, with exception for the Rui Gomez family, who we saw in the Hulu documentary. They're the ones that actually continue to fight and push and are part of the reason Tom Girardi, and I don't think they get the credit they deserve, they're part of the reason Tom Girardi's financials were exposed and why he was able to stop, or why he was no longer able to keep taking money out from these lenders. So the unfortunate part is once the money comes into the estate and starts getting issued out, the lenders are the ones that are first in line before the victims, because the victims have unsecured debts, unfortunately. So it really isn't looking good for them. But, I have hope that we'll find a way to get them some sort of justice.
Okay. All right. Well, Zach, I appreciate you coming on. And I know that your time is precious. And I know it's a holiday weekend, so I don't want to keep all of your time. I guess my last question for you is, since we have the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City coming back, I have two questions. Who is your favorite housewife of Salt Lake City, and what are you looking forward to most? And if you say the obvious answer is Jen.
I'm so excited for this answer.
But I want to hear your answer.
My favorite, I feel like it switches. I hate picking favorites because I feel like they always shift. I'm gonna go with Whitney, because I feel like everyone's going to pick Meredith, or everyone picks Lisa Barlow, both of who I love. Oh no, everyone picks Mary, and Mary is at the bottom of my list. Like Mary makes me cringe.
Mary's at the bottom of my list too.
Mary makes me cringe at night, and I don't know how people love her so much, but I'm going to go with Whitney just because I think she's fun, and she's blonde, and us blondes are great on Twitter. So, we love to show off our hair. As you heard on Twitter, all I love to talk about is my bleached blonde hair. So I'm going to give it to my fellow blondie, and I'm going to go with Whitney. I love the way she dances. I love how messy it is. And I think she's just fun. And what am I most looking forward to this season? I mean, obviously the obvious answer would be Jen Shah, but I mean, we didn't get much about Jen Shah in the trailer. We got a lot about Mary and her alleged cult church, which we've heard rumblings and rumors about, but I want to see that exposed a lot more. I want to get into
She
Mary.
just moved down the ladder though. She got bumped way down the ladder. We're not going to focus on that for forever.
The main focus of the season, honestly, with all of her family members coming out, but Jen Shah saved Mary. Mary Cosby should have sent her like a goodie bag, a fruit bag, something, because she helped her.
She should have sent her some hospital smelling candles.
She should have sent her some of your wine, which you can get very easily. It's very easily accessible online, and it comes pretty fast, which is also amazing. But if you can't find Lisa Barlow's tequila to save your life anywhere.
Okay.
So you can't
Or
send her
Ramona
that.
Grigio.
Yeah. But I mean, Vita Tequila is by far like you cannot find that anywhere. I think one store in LA sells it just to say it, it sells it, and that's about it.
Okay.
Vita needs to get it. I mean, they sold out or they ran out at Whitney's wedding, so apparently stock is
They didn't
low.
sell out of anything.
Well, I asked Lisa Barlow actually where I could get her wine. I said I couldn't find it at Total Wine, and Jason said that was insulting, which I didn't know because I was just asking.
That's like saying I couldn't find your coat at Marshall's.
Okay. Well, I said she told me you could find it at Total Wine, so I was like I couldn't find it, and she's like, well, it should be there, I think, and I was like, okay.
I think. See here, that's the answer. That like Zach, where your wine is and where to get it.
Unfilteredwine.com.
If you ask Bethany Frankel, where can you get Skinny Girl, she's going to tell you exactly where to get it, how much is in stock, what is going on with it. If you ask Lisa Barlow, hey, where is your Vita Tequila? It should be at Total Wine. Which one? It's not in Florida. It's not in half of California, apparently. It's not in Texas, from what I've heard. You can't find it in New York City. So is it in Park City? Where is Vita Tequila? I want to know that because I do want to try it.
Okay. All right.
That
was nofilterwine.com, and it's unfiltered with Zach Peter. Okay.
Nofilterwine.com.
Yes.
Love that.
All right, Zach, thank you so much. And before you go, can you at least let us all know where we can find you?
You can find me messy on Twitter at JustPlainZach, or you can listen to my show, #NoFilter with Zach Peter, available on all podcast platforms. You can watch it on YouTube as well, and you can follow the show at No Filter with Zach on the Instagram. We're giving away some of my Potomac wine right now, so if anyone wants to go win some, No Filter
And
wine.
those cans are amazing.
And they're going to get you Liddy City, and he's not kidding.
Liddy City, yeah.
Okay. Zach, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to go follow Zach. Zach, I will see you on your podcast.
Bye, Zach.
Bye, Zach. All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. We're going to be bringing everybody back up here in a little bit. But before we do, if you haven't heard of her, I don't know what rock you're living under, because she's the one with the $25,000 sunglasses. We just met up with her in Miami. She's hilarious. I love her, and she has some exciting news. So let's bring her up. Hi, Dana.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Dana.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
This is so different from us being in our bathing suits.
I know. Oh my
Oh my God, I feel so much
miss
better, by
it.
the way. So I wish I was meeting you now.
I know you were hanging so bad.
Yeah,
was
she
that?
had a little bit of a hangover.
When
That
you
was a
finish the
tough
work
morning for
week
you.
and it's like the first night in Miami, I just went a little too undone.
Well, and you worked out every single day, and so
That's
you
right.
deserved that party night. That was. You
Well, I
had
paid for it for
to.
2 days.
Did you? Yeah, we're not getting any younger. That's for sure.
That is.
Well, Dana, I wanted to say thank you again for joining us on such short notice. I thought it was exciting because when we were in Miami, we talked about a lot of the hard work that you have been doing on your Patreon account. And for those of you guys who aren't following Dana on Patreon, you should be, because we come on here, a lot of us, and every once in a while we get amazing exclusives, which is awesome. That's what everyone's trying to do, right? But when you're not getting exclusives, you're talking about headlines, regurgitating information that's already out there in the world. And then you have those who are like little investigators, which is kind of what I would like to call Dana, because Dana, she does the damn work. She's investigating. She's looking into, she's like, wait a minute. It says Erica Girardi did this. No. Let me look into the court documents, look into the files, look into this, put all of my research together. It's going to take me a minute. And then she comes out with the information, which I was telling her, listen, I love the fact that you have Patreon, but we have to steal you over to the tube.
Yeah, no, Adam really was inspirational to me this last, weekend that we hung out, because I was kind of explaining to him and Jason that I was like, I do this incredible amount of work to get across like next level gossip, I like to call it, right? Where, I don't take anyone's word for it. I like build it all out myself and recreate it for everyone else to decide what they feel about something. And it's usually a lot juicier. That like the truth is always juicier than like, you know what I mean? Like it's than you'd think,
Right.
know? So I was looking for something that would allow me to kind of be able to do shorter snippets that weren't so in depth and still get across some of this amazing gossip that isn't deep enough for my show, but is still really good. right? So like, for example, this week when I launched my YouTube channel, which is what I guess this is the buildup for me saying, is that I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff that people don't know about Dorit's wedding dress company and the designer she's in bed with. So like, it wasn't like juicy enough necessarily for my show and my Patreon, but it like no one's going to know about this on YouTube right now.
That's
Still.
what I'm talking about. This is the exclusive stuff that we don't know. So let me tell you how this is going to work, Dana, which you already know, but you're going to end up putting out these exclusives. And then you have other content creators like me, or now Jason, or we have Campfire, we have Femtero. We have so many people, Zach Peter, people who come on and we see these exclusives that you're dropping. And then we're like, oh shit, I was going to the store to get some lunch, but hold on, I got to do this video really quick because Dana just dropped an exclusive. It's true. Like now we're going to
I just wanted to thank you guys because I was, I wasn't sure what to do with all this gossip that I can't use on the Patreon because it's like I said, if like my Patreon gossip's level 10, okay, and let's say headlines are level 2, like my YouTube gossip's like 4. So I was kind of missing what to do with that kind of level of info. So now I've got this outlet because you inspired me. So all weekend, I basically just recorded all of this content and I covered the glasses and all these like secret stories about the $25,000 glasses. And I found out some drama about, like I said, the wedding dresses with Dorit, and I found some drama that no one had spilled on Lisa Vanderpump. And oh, and I even covered what I think caused Technoblade's cancer, which is completely off Bravo. You know who Technoblade is, right?
No.
You don't know who Technoblade is?
No.
You don't know who Technoblade is?
No.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
now I have to like.
Put it this
Now
way.
I have to
If
sit here and
Adam,
Google.
Jason, and let's just say what it would be. If we could get Technoblade on any of our shows, like it would blow away any Bravo celebrity you've ever had. Like he'll post a video on YouTube, and Technoblade within like 2 hours will have 3.5 million views. Like
Oh my goodness.
Technoblade is making a lot of money.
Yeah, he's amazing. Well, he just got cancer. That's unfortunate. He's 21.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's so many people's icon in terms of Minecraft. I mean, I geek out about everything. Adam, on the Patreon, I cover Elon Musk and, Bill Gates and strippers and, like it's just everything's up there.
I like that. I like that you hop all over the place and you're not one-dimensional. I think it's really fun. And a lot of us too, when we're covering things, it's hard you get built into this. I talked about this one time. There's a guy on here, Dana, and you probably don't know who he is yet. And if you do, then amazing. But he covers a lot of TLC stuff. So he does a lot of 90-day. His name's Max, and that is his thing. And when he posts a video, he gets the views on it because he is the TLC guy. And he was asking me how to kind of jump into that Bravo world. And I was helping him, talking to him about how to do it, what topics to cover. And his fans, his subscribers, his community kind of turned on the idea of him doing Bravo. And they're like, no, you're the TLC guy. And I've noticed for myself, like even trying to branch off into other things, they're like, wait a minute, you do Bravo. And I've even talked to Campfire about this, and Campfire has told me you have to build these communities because it takes a minute for people to know that's what you're doing because you're known as this one person. But if you come right out of the gate and you're multidimensional, then it's amazing.
Yeah, well, I just care about secrets and stuff people don't want me to know. So like essentially, I don't care what the hell it is. I just want it. If you don't want me to know, I want it. That's what I want to talk about. But listen, Jason, what are you going to be doing on your channel, love? Tell me all about that.
Oh, so many things. I mean, I'm covering some things to Adam. Obviously, I have to be stuck watching these shows, and my opinion is very different than Adam's sometimes. So I'm going to cover a lot of that stuff. I'm going to cover a lot of royal stuff because my extended family is all English, and we talk about royal gossip all the time. So I have a great panel. Femtero is included on that, so I might have just let that out of the bag. She's there. We have someone who's very close, kind of like you won't see her face because she has a lot of information on the royal family. So she's going to come on as well.
She's like an NT, but on the Royals.
Yes.
Okay. So she gets like a dark shadow, and she won't like her voice.
She doesn't want to be
I've always
beheaded.
wanted to be
Just,
one of
you know,
those
and
people.
different things. I have different experiences and stuff too. And what was really funny too. I'm actually looking forward to coming on your podcast, actually.
Oh yeah. Listen, you guys, Jason is being really shy here because Jason has a lot of tea. Okay. And I'm going to be bringing him on my show to bang it out of him. And then he'll go back on his show and tell you all of it again.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to spill it here, but Dana and I have been at some of the same parties. Like how many years ago? I don't want to say how many years ago it was.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is Tara Reid and I were sitting on a kitchen counter in like sweatpants as like drool coming down the side of the mouth. And that's all I can say. That doesn't set it up.
And maybe like a day earlier or a few hours earlier, she was in a limo with my cousins. I can't, you know, we'll talk all about that. That's a very Cirque du Soleil story.
Yeah, and it actually ties into early Bravo years, which is why it will be also really cool. A lot of people will like how that turns around. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I can't wait to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it now. I definitely just want to save it for your podcast. But yeah, early Bravo years.
Also, we'll bring it back. You'll be able to bring all my things back on your show. So
Absolutely.
I'll confide all my secret stuff and you just spill it because I don't give a shit. Ooh, I can't say that. Can I say that on YouTube or will
Yeah, you can say you don't give a shit. And also I bugged you first, so we already got the deets.
Beep that out.
I can't beep. Where's Camfire's beep button? Okay. All right. Well, with that, I did want to keep this on brand too. So the exciting news is, guys, again, what I wanted to ask Dana to come on here to do was, you know, announce the fact that she will be coming on YouTube. I'm sure we'll have a lot of great collabs with Dana because as she spills it, we'll want to know more about it and we'll just have a lot of questions for her because that's what I do. I have a ton of questions. So I'm sure we'll have a bunch of different collaborators jumping on together and we're excited to welcome her and also Jason back to the tube or to the tube for the first time. I like calling it the tube. It sounds raunchy, but it's okay. Dana, because I don't want to keep all of your time because it is a holiday weekend, I did want to ask you one Bravo question. Sure. Are we looking forward to this? Hold your enthusiasm.
Okay, so yes, I'm looking forward to it, but I know some stuff that has transpired that I'm not happy about.
Do you want to talk about it, Dana?
No, on season 2.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can ask me about it next week. Okay. I'm spilling it on Tuesday. So call me back we'll do another one on Thursday and I'll tell you.
Can you at least just throw us a bone? Who does it have to do with?
I found out that Lisa turned on somebody who was a good friend of hers and it was pretty shocking to me. And I'm disappointed.
Why doesn't that surprise? That doesn't surprise me for some reason.
Yeah, no, I'm disappointed.
Oh, I feel like you're going to keep.
It's going to be a topic.
Okay. Do you think this is going to be a killer season, especially because you were on Beverly Hills, Real Housewives, and this season for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it has great ratings because. Unfortunately, in this effed up world that we live in, everyone loves a great scandal and likes to watch it unfold. And that's exactly what we're getting. Campfire is like doing jumping jacks in the background.
But I don't agree with you about that, Adam, because honestly, I mean, I know I'm partial, but the truth is that the ratings aren't that good this season. There are like 1.2 million last I looked. Did they go up from there?
But I mean, as opposed to, sorry, let me clarify.
As opposed to my seasons with
Kyle
and those were 2.1 million people.
But we can't replace your season. I'm talking about collectively.
I need my shades now.
The Housewives franchise. You said you were going to bring them to the pool, by the way, but they might have gotten stolen. So.
Oh no, I definitely was going to bring them to the pool and let you guys do that. But then I was like, wow, what if we get like hammered? Because I was thinking I was going to get hammered.
We got hammered by waves this morning. We lost both our sunglasses.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not risking that because you and I, we all would get dumb. And then next thing you know, I'm like, here, handing them off. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Next time we'll do it though, for sure.
I did want to just clarify really quick, though. I meant collectively as the franchises. You know, like we've seen New York has the lowest rated season ever. Orange County had the lowest rated season ever. Dallas obviously just got canceled or put on pause. Atlanta used to be the front runner for all of Housewives, and they are, I mean, their ratings weren't amazing. And that's why I'm saying Beverly Hills, even though it's 1.2 million, people are watching, and they're not watching some of the other franchises.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say to you. I have higher expectations for Bravo. What can I tell you?
Okay.
I agree.
That's fair coming from you, though.
I mean, it's a network, for Christ's sake. Like, there are people on TikTok with more hits than this show right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do you have like a shady sound effect you could throw in there?
No, get one. I have to get a button and
we're not on Dishing Drama. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Well, Dana, again, I didn't want to take most of your time, but I'm so excited that you came on and you talked about your channel. I'll make sure to get a link for your channel whenever you get it, because this.
Wow, as soon as you get off this live, can you call me?
Yeah, I'll call you.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, I love you. You are going to do so great. Your channel's going
Thank
to be
you.
so amazing. And
I hope
just like
so.
Adam, you're going to take the world by storm, and I will feed you all my royal gossip secrets that I have.
This is something we have to talk about.
Ooh. Okay. All right, Dana. Well, thank you so much. And before you go, can you at least let us know in the meantime where we can find you?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Wilkie_Dana. My Twitter's @DanaWilkie. And on the Patreon, my Patreon is like my Reddit. It's not just a show. And it's called Dishing Drama Dana Wilkie, my Patreon. And you can find my show and bonus audios and videos and also posts and legal stuff.
Awesome. Well, happy holiday weekend, Dana. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you soon.
All right.
Have fun.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, Dana.
Guys.
Bye, Dana.
All right, guys. Again, if you're not following Dana, make sure you do. I'm surprised that they stood in there with us. We still have Femtero and Campfire.
Oh, let's talk Salt Lake City.
Femtero's giving us a little bit of a cat hand, and Camfire's been like this the whole time. Literally, I'm like, my eyes have just been going down to the bottom of the screen because I see this.
I love my new chair.
Really quick, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys talk about Salt Lake City for a second, only because I hear the cat meowing, which is actually the cue for I'm going to get more rosé.
You're going to get wine, and you're also going to get me some wine because mine is empty.
Ooh, I want some.
Please.
Campfire, you sit over there and judge everybody and drink your water.
I do not judge people that
Campfire,
drink.
listen.
That is
you have
fake
Campfire,
news.
you have someone on your team now. So me.
You don't drink?
Oh no, I drink. No.
He's meaning
I mean, like,
my head off.
I'm not. Yeah.
Gosh, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button. Before I get out of screen real quick, just to refill my glass. Jason said, let's talk Salt Lake City, which I do want to talk about. So Jason, I will let you take this away.
Oh, amazing.
But if you guys haven't seen the trailer, you guys need to watch the trailer. Just to give you a heads up, we didn't know what was going to be happening with Jen Shah because of all of the legal drama. And they were testing out a new friend of. Her name is Jenny Nguyen. She's rich, she's fabulous, she's beautiful. And she's also on the very right end of this photo where my logo is covering her forehead. So that's unfortunate.
Adam, whose friend is she? Do we know?
Campfire, do we know?
No, I'm assuming. It seems based on what we've seen in the trailer, it looks like as if it's Jen Shah's friend. And I'm not sure, but you know, a lot of times they're not really friends. They choose a housewife to bring them on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Jason's lived this whole, Mormon lifestyle where, it's like we don't know much about this. And for Jenny Nguyen, her husband's trying to bring in a sister wife because he wants another baby and she does not want to give him one. So he suggests in the trailer, why don't we bring in a sister wife? Jason, you ever do that?
Okay, no, because then you're not a Mormon. Do you understand? Like,
well, don't throw me under the bus. Campfire said it.
No, there's lots of. No. My God. I'm so excited for Salt Lake, to be honest with you. I'm more excited for Salt Lake than some of the other shows,
Yeah, because based off what we're hearing, and if it's anything like what we're getting in Beverly Hills, we have to make sure that the other housewives are going to carry the bones that we need them to carry.
Every single one though, there is something I like about every single one. I love all these housewives always have something to say on Salt Lake. They're always, they're always participating. Whereas you have some on some franchises kind of fade. Maybe I don't need more wine. Kind of fade off. Do you know what I mean? Like some fade to the side, some, I don't know. They don't really participate.
Yeah.
And I feel like last season we had everyone participating and it was a lot of fun.
That's
some people didn't like the show
as well. Sorry, Jason. I was going to say
no, you're fine.
Totally, because we had this conversation last year during the season 1, and we both agreed that I feel that it was a lot more authentic. It was a new show, new cast. The dynamic was there. They had to play around, and that's what I loved about the show. And I really hope this sort of like energy continues with season 2. I'm really looking forward to
100%.
Right. And even Mary.
I just need Mary to leave the closet. Mary needs to leave the house and to leave the closet.
She needs to leave the closet or the room with the racks of clothes. Is that what that's the closet you're talking about? Yeah. Jeez. The other thing I want to see more too of is, I'm a fan of Whitney, obviously. I've worked on her skincare line a little bit and I really like her. I like kind of how she's for me and my age, she's my age and she's fun and she's unique and different and it brings it when she needs to. But I'd like to see more about her business. I miss that, from previous seasons of like, let's say Beverly Hills, like at the beginning, Adrienne Maloof and Lisa Vanderpump and everyone had their businesses and you got to follow their businesses and stuff. And I really want to see that from Whitney. But are you excited about this Jen Shah stuff? Because I was at the beginning and now I really just don't care.
Really?
I just don't care about the Jen Shah stuff. I'm more worried about where Vita Tequila is. Seriously. I'm just being honest, like the whole, it's not as, I don't know. That she's plain guilty. We sit here and we talk about, maybe Erica didn't know, or maybe she didn't know. I mean, Jen Shah, her fingerprints are all over.
Well, the thing with Jen Shah, though, too, is unfortunately, and we talked to, by the way, guys, hi, welcome back.
Welcome back to you.
Yeah. The thing about Jen Shah here is she has continuously pled not guilty. So it is technically innocent until proven guilty. So we do have to say that. But she has pled not guilty and she's continued to say, I had nothing to do with this. And now, like we heard from Emily D. Baker, there was a tier system in how these people would eventually, what kind of time that they would get served with if they were in fact convicted.
What is Coach Shah doing right now? What is he thinking?
He's thinking that he's about to get a girlfriend because
divorce. Like, what are you thinking at this point?
Or does he already have a girlfriend? Femtara.
Yeah, fill us in, Femtara.
Well, we've done a reading on Jen Shah way back when, and yes, I mean, you'll have to watch the video, but because I don't remember exactly what I my memory's a little bit like Dory.
I remember.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for the couple, and it doesn't look good for Jen Shah. So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. She's a hot mess. I love that she's so Deep Space Nine. Jason, that reference is for you.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. She's
Everyone in the chat keeps on saying that they think she's guilty. Diana, thank you so much. Don't forget to like if you haven't already. Thank you. Everyone in the chat keeps thinking that she's guilty, but it amazes me because almost like Ronald Richards said on, my channel, he was like, it's almost like you don't understand the system that you're playing with. Again, the Southern District of New York has a 99% prosecution rate. Or a 98, something like that. It's 98. They have millions of pages of documents. There's no way that it's like they are almost telling her, we have the evidence, girl, so take a plea deal. And now so many other people have taken the plea deal that I think there's 3 people left. One of them is Stuart Smith, one of her assistants, number 2, I think. The second
Isn't he turning on her?
Yeah.
Or that already happened, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're hearing, is that he's going to be turning on her. And if he turns on her, then there's nobody. Once everyone has taken a plea deal, there's no plea deal left on the table. Now at this point, you just they're going to either prove you guilty or not guilty. And if they prove you guilty, they're going to be like, why did you waste our time? And also, like Emily D. Baker said, the judge and the court, they're going to want to see you humble and be like, you know what? Shit, I messed up. I did this crime. I messed up and I'm owning it.
This isn't a mess up crime. This isn't like, oh, I accidentally did this. This was very well thought out.
Well, they're saying that they caught her doing a crime, right? And Campfire can probably elaborate on this a little bit too, because I'm blanking for a second. They caught her doing a crime, and then she found out that other people were being investigated. And then they almost, from what we're hearing, reconfigured how to continue doing this crime in a different way, and then just kept doing it. And that's what Emily D. Baker was saying is, so what they're going to look at you and say is, so you were doing this, right? And you see that some of your counterparts, they were getting jail time for this, which is something that you were doing. And then you came over here and you figured out a new way how to do it and fly under the radar, and we caught you doing this. So you're saying that you didn't know anything? We don't buy that.
Jen Shaw, this does not look good for you, girl. And being on this reality show is not going to help, because we're based on what we've already seen in regards to her behavior on social media and what we saw in the super trailer. She does not get the seriousness of this. I don't know. She's never heard of the SDNY. She does not understand. They do not pursue a situation that they don't believe they can win. So I wish her luck with that and the fun times that she's going to have on this season. But she might be serving some jail time, and she still might take a plea, but she's still going to serve some jail time. And that's a legal opinion from a non-attorney.
But there's the head job and everything. They're saying from like listening to some like people that we trust, we're hearing that she could potentially serve anywhere from 7 to 10 years. And she even said in the trailer, she's like, Reefy, that's what she calls Sharif. She's like, Reefy, I can't go to prison for 8 years.
And Reefy would be moving on with his girlfriend.
Yes, Reefy will be gone.
Okay.
The thing is, who advises her? I mean, doesn't she is she so out of touch with reality, or doesn't she have like a team of people that care for her? And just
did she take those Coach Shaw talks, or what are they called? That she gets from him.
Talks.
Yeah, maybe she just took those the wrong way. It's like, no, that's not what I meant. He's
like, you can make money, girl. You go ahead, you make money, and you will take over the world. She's like, oh, okay. So telemarketing scheme and alleged money laundering.
I like to point out some misogyny, though, because everyone loves Coach Shaw, but he also has benefited from this alleged life of stealing money from victims.
Right. You have that rented Shaw chalet.
But then also 2 things here. Well, 3 things now that you brought that up. 1, they had a house that was worth less than $300,000 before they sold it to rent Shaw Chalet. So I don't know how none of the women talked about that, which kind of shows these are not organic, real friendships, or else you would have known that that was not real. And then the other thing here is for him, since he is the spouse, they technically can't bring him in to question him because he gets that right as being the spouse. And third, if they really felt like he had any play or anything to do with anything, like Emily said, he would have been also indicted.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fans, though. I'm talking about people that are,
yeah, they definitely are Team Coach Shaw.
Say it again?
I said they are Team Coach Shaw.
Yeah. I mean, understandably, but I like to point out both sides. A lot of people are coming at Erica, and rightfully so. But we also have to remember that Coach Shaw is in a similar situation, but he's a man, so he's treated a little bit differently.
What kind of bullshit is that? What kind of world do we live in?
A man's world.
Okay. Take that back. No. All right. So I want to navigate the conversation a little bit as just kind of a sneak peek, only because it's something that I'm interested in. Campfire. Guys, if you didn't catch our live the other day, Campfire said something so silly. He thought he was going to New Amsterdam. So it was really cute, funny. I think he was thinking of the gin, the vodka, the something.
No, this is how much you drink, Adam. You're thinking about New Amsterdam. Campfire is going to Amsterdam.
Okay. Don't throw-
And I don't know why you're thinking about New Amsterdam. Think about something else.
Who invited you here?
Better to drink.
But what I was going to say is one thing that I've always wanted to do is go to Europe, and I try to go to London every year around New Year's, and I never make it because Jason never wants to go.
That's not true.
That's not true. He
I
told
have
me he
family
wants to go
there.
to
My
London.
friends are there. That was my favorite.
If I
My
was
favorite
lie, can you
city
just
to
let me lie?
perform. It was the only city with Cirque du Soleil we didn't perform in a big top. We performed in the Royal Albert Hall, and that was, you know, the fact that I got to do it twice is even, you know, more incredible to be on that stage. But London is insane. But unfortunately and fortunately, we've met Natalie, and we're going to go spend some time in Greece. That will be your first trip to Europe.
And we also have one of Jason's favorites on here. I also loved speaking with her. We have Joanne, who is one of our royal experts, who has not been on my channel because I don't really touch on the royal family, only because I said New Amsterdam. So could you imagine me commenting on the royal family? There's no freaking way. But Jason and Natalie have a few exciting things coming up along with Joanne. So I'm going to bring her up in a minute. Before I do, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. And Campfire, how well versed are you in the royal family?
I'm somewhat versed. You know, I cover all pop culture, and they're a part of pop culture.
So
they are. You know, sometimes there is more news on the royal family every day than any celebrity gossip. Yeah. And the royal family extends, you know, beyond just, you know, the queen herself. It also extends, there are more royal families, and they're pretty interesting too. I don't know if you follow any of the others, Femtero, like Denmark or Sweden or Spain.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Cool. I have a soft spot for Denmark and the Danes as well. And they're super cute as well. But aside from that, but yeah, Denmark as well, and the Spanish royal family too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of tea there too that I know.
There's a lot. So I think we're going to try to dive into a lot of that. But since I do have Femtero, and since I do have Joanne occasionally to come on the channel as well and give her 2 cents, I think we're going to cover a lot of royal, you know, royal details and gossip.
Megan Sue, I would like to ask the same question again. On all of these shows, we get so mad when these women don't change and learn. But when they do, everyone calls them fake. Example, Lisa Rinna. And can you discuss the World trailer? Okay, we were about to bring up Joanne, but I don't want to do it for the Bravo stuff. I'm going to bring her up for the royal stuff. Let me just address this really quick.
Let's go back to that question, though.
I do want to go back to the question because she sent in a super chat. When it comes to Lisa Rinna and calling her fake, I think I have a good answer for this. We saw her completely go in on someone who was her friend for a long time, who we've seen her. She was the one who said they were friends for a long time. Until she went in on her, that's when she said that they were only social friends. So you're the one who kind of painted this picture for us. And now we're watching her defend Erica blindly when she was going in and making this a huge thing about Denise Richards having an alleged hookup with Brandi Glanville, which who gives a shit, just to be fair. Nobody cares. If you want to go out there and play, she might have an open. She was married to Charlie Sheen. Who knows what she does? She could have an open relationship. I mean, what open means to him is something else. But they could have any kind of relationship. And I don't think anybody really cared. The whole thing was that she was trying to protect her unity, her marriage, because she just got married to a man that might not have been okay with it. And Lisa Rinna was like a dog with a bone and ended up deciding to take this and run with it. But now, when there's a scandal out there, for some reason, you're on the other side of the line here, I guess, so to say. I'm sure there's a better word, but I can't think of it. But you're on the other side of the line here, and you're not defending, or you're defending Erica for what? Why aren't you talking about more so the victims? Why are you so, like, Lisa Rinna, I don't necessarily understand her. I'm hoping that it makes sense at the end of it. As of right now, it's not making any sense to me. I don't want to give you just my opinions. I'll go around the room and ask what your thoughts are, starting with Campfire.
Oh. I think, first of all, Megan, thank you for the super chat. Great question, but I don't believe that Lisa Rinna has grown. I don't believe that. That's not what I'm getting from the situation. It feels very suspect on her intentions. And I do think there's some sort of weird connection there. We don't know for sure. And I know everyone is, try to connect the dots and figure out why there is this loyalty to Erica Jane. And I don't believe it's because they're real friends. they're not real friends. There's something very suspicious, and it's going to come out. It's going to come out.
Okay. Femtero?
Yeah, I think she's not willing to sort of add any salt to that wound. And I agree with Campfire. I do think there's something behind the scenes. So there's something about, Erica and maybe Lisa in the past that she's kind of covering it by siding with her in a sense. But we know Lisa Rinna. I mean, next week it could be a very totally different story. You know what I mean? So, I mean, she flip-flops. And it's all about Lisa. It's all about her at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with friendships or loyalty or anything. And I don't like people like that who are not loyal or good friends either. So
You're friends with Jason.
Yeah,
I would watch it. I'd watch it.
Just kidding. Okay, Jason, do you have an opinion?
Yeah, I do. Thank God for Garcelle, because Garcelle doesn't flip flop, and I love how she holds people accountable, especially Lisa Rinna. And Lisa Rinna, I don't know if she's too much.
But I still want
remember
Lisa on
when
the
she
show,
used to
though.
be, huh?
I still want Lisa on the show.
I need an opponent though. I mean, I don't, of course, I don't think our former boss Lisa will be coming back, but it would be nice to have an opponent come back. I would love to see Denise come back.
Someone who
At
can
this point.
actually go up against her. Yes, I would love to see Denise come back and go in on Rinna.
Was she my favorite? No, but
No, we need Camille more than we need Denise Richards.
No,
Yes.
gosh, keep Camille in the back. Nobody.
I don't know. I like Camille too, to be honest. She goes there.
Denise Richards is not going to bring it. She didn't bring it last season or the previous season.
Denise Richards. So here's my thought too: is Denise Richards needs someone else, not just Garcelle. Garcelle is amazing. She is killing it for me this season because she, I think you've talked about this on your channel, Campfire and Adam, but she is all of us. She's what I'm thinking she says, like right at that moment. I'm like, I'm really enjoying her a lot. But I think Denise needs to come back, but it has to be with someone else. I don't know who. There's all these rumors about Kris Jenner. She'll never come on the show. Let's be honest. She doesn't have time. That would be amazing, but she doesn't have time. But I don't know who could come. Camille and Denise, but then is it just more of the same? I don't know.
No, not Denise at all. I mean, she's my fellow Aquarian, but no, I don't think she added much to the show. I mean, she did at the beginning. She had this grounding energy about her. Showing up in jean shorts and a t-shirt and not giving crap and all that. That was great at the beginning, but I don't feel her energy, her vibe kind of gelled with everyone else's. So it looked a little bit awkward. I mean, she seemed a little bit awkward. So I'm down with Camille.
Okay.
Do you think though, Denise coming back now that she has someone to go
At?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, a woman scorned, she might come back and be like, okay, bitch, you wanted to talk about my life? Let's talk about
who we don't need to see anymore on the camera ever on Beverly Hills is Teddy.
Oh.
Ever again. I mean, you should do a poll on your channel, Adam. Who is the most boring housewife? Telly. I'm going to stop drinking, I promise. Teddy Mellencamp or Robin Dixon. I really would love to know that poll.
Why don't you do that poll on your channel?
Because I want to see it on yours. You have more followers.
Well, go build your community. You can't use my channel.
Oh.
Okay.
The fighting.
I'll post it myself later when you fall asleep.
Oh. Okay.
Ooh.
I got the passwords.
Scary. Susie Q.
Teddy's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. What'd you say?
No, Teddy hands down is the most boring. You don't even need a poll for that.
Oh my, like a wall.
Yeah. Thank you for just Susie Q. Here we go. Asking again. And so Asking again. So if Tom took Dorit's jewelry and gave it to Erica, would Erica say those were gifts as well? Susie Q.
No, because
Thank
they're
you for
fake.
asking. Yeah, she probably would. She'd say that was a gift because technically she doesn't know where it came from. It was just gifted to her. So that's like if Campfire steals Femtero's necklace and then gifts it to me, I could be like, well, Campfire gave it to me. It was a Christmas present. I'm keeping it. I didn't know that was yours. That's kind of the vibes we're getting here.
But it's stolen.
But it's stolen. So thank you, Susie Q. All right. So we're going to talk a little bit about the royal family because I have questions. My camera looks like it's like going in. We did this last time with Campfire. We made it about 2 hours. It's okay.
Hey, my camera, none of the settings are working today. So, this is my learning curve right now.
Jason, you don't have to give us your platter of problems.
Oh my God.
He's like, I swear I'm gonna slap the out
Just
of you.
gonna smile.
All right, let's bring up Joanne. Hi, Joanne.
Hello.
Oh,
How are you?
That's
How are
so
you?
British.
Can you hear
Hello.
us?
Hi, Joanne.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, very well.
So
Alright.
one of the things that, the things I'm going to do on my channel, especially with Femtero, because she has a lot of insider information as well, as does Joanne, as kind of but I want to be kind of the American asking questions, because I really do want to know some things. I do know a lot about the royal family, the history, especially from my family being, British as well. But I really do want to dive into some of the stuff. More recently, it's been all about, of course, the stuff happening with Meghan, which we covered on my channel. I think we had Shannon Van, Femtero, and Joanne come on, and we talked a lot about that and kind of the misconceptions and also the miscommunications that have happened along the way during that whole thing. So I really want to break that down again, as now we're finding out new facts of what is going on. So I don't know. Currently, what is the consensus, Joanne, of the royal family right now?
Can I say something?
Just with everything happening.
Before Joanne answers that, I just want to say really quick, congratulations, Jason. And I want to applaud you because you wanted to be the American asking questions. And that is exactly what you are and what you just did. So you did it. Now, Joanne.
Right. No, but I want to know what the consensus is, because, over here, the royal family has it's very mixed right now of what Americans think of the royal family. And that, is because of past situations that have just happened. But, what is the consensus? I know some Brits love the royal family and some don't.
Yeah, well, there's always a lot of entertainment and gossip and all that coming out of the royal family. We've had some latest things like the Queen's, what happens when the Queen dies, her funeral plans and all what's going to happen when she dies has been leaked. So that's not gone down too well in the palace. And more recently, like today, one of Prince Charles's closest aides, his closest aide, Michael Fawcett, has had to resign because he's been found out offering British citizenship and knighthoods to, a Saudi aide, or Saudi aide, however you want to say it. So yeah, there's Harry and Meghan. He did a speech the other day, Harry, at GQ Awards here in England, talking as if he still lives here and everything. And it's like, people are like, no, you've gone. We're past you now. We don't need your speeches anymore. We've had enough. We've had enough of you going on and on and on, So trying to preach to poor people, as he treats them. Yeah.
I have a question for you really quick, because they decided to give, it's Piers Morgan, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Back his job after he made the Meghan Markle.
Did they give his job back yet, though? Was that confirmed?
It's a bit of no, they haven't given his job back yet, but he's been passed by Ofcom as not having said anything bad in their eyes. He gave his own personal view, what he thought about Meghan, and there was nothing insulting there or anything that could be complained about, really. It was just his view. He thought she was lying, and anybody can say, I think they're lying. It's not really, an offence or something that's illegal to say that you think someone's lying. But because he said it on TV and he's Piers Morgan and it's Meghan and Harry, and she complained to the channel and
but
to Ofcom.
He's had issues before too, right? On CNN, I believe he had a few issues with multiple interviews, and I'm excited to dive down more with Piers Morgan too. I met him while I was managing Pump in West Hollywood. He used to come in occasionally with his family. Very nice, tipped very well, tipped my servers very well. That's always a good sign. But I'm very curious to dive into that. And Joanne, thank you for coming on today, and thank you for coming on when we do something this week. I'm going to talk with Femtero. I'm a little bit behind. Femtero's like pushing me to get on this week, and I want to jump on like in the next few days and do one of our royal lives for sure.
That'll be fun. Be good.
Yeah. Well, thank you for Joanne for calling in. I appreciate it.
That's
All
okay.
right.
Speak to you soon.
All right,
Bye,
Joanne, we'll
everyone.
talk to you soon. All
Bye.
right.
Now, I wish I could tell everyone who Joanne is, but I think we met in London, but we've traveled, we've been to Italy together and other parts of the world. And
Is it Fergie?
No.
How did you know? Wait,
I would love it if it was Fergie. Oh my god.
I saw where
And then
go ahead.
we're also in talks too with I don't know if anybody here, see, the thing is I love royal stuff probably just as much as Natalie does, but I followed this woman, Lady C, who Natalie told me about, and we're in talks with her camp to possibly get her to come on too. You know, I'm a brand new channel, so I don't have a lot of subscribers or a lot of people watching, but this is something you would have to watch if she did come on the show. She was actually a lady. Yes.
And guys, let me just say a little bit. If she comes on, she's got a fascinating background. She was married to a lord. She grew up in Jamaica. She comes from from an aristocratic family, and she was raised as a boy. She's written a book about it. She's a Leo. She's got
a boy?
such a Leo. Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
She is. I don't want to sound ignorant. What do you mean she was raised as a boy?
Well, she was raised as a boy. I mean, they wanted a boy, they got a girl, and they raised her as a boy. And up until, I think, the age of 12, 13, she look at Campfire. It's like, let me just...
So they wanted... Okay.
I'm just giving a background. She's a fascinating lady, and she knows so much about, obviously, because she is part of the royal family, and she knows so much about the royal family, but it's the way she delivers the tea. She's incredible. I mean, Leo vibes all over with this woman. She's amazing.
I want to get different viewpoints and see kind of where we all stand on the royal gossip and the royal inside, how it works.
All right. Well, I want to go ahead and switch up the topic. And I do want to say too, they're saying in the chat, Lady C, this is going not great. Love Lady C. Lady C is not a racist. Don't bring her on your channel. There's a lot happening. But
see, if I only brought people who were safe on my channel, then it wouldn't be a good channel. So we're gonna try to change it up a little bit. I want different viewpoints too.
And they're also they're saying that she's not. They're calling her a typical bitter old lady, but not a racist. So that's good.
I'm not going to say anything right now, but
I'm not going to say anything either, but I'm just going to say that obviously because it's, royal news, especially the Meghan and Harry situation, is completely split opinions, and people are quite heated and passionate about that. So anyone who talks pro or against them gets a lot of flack from the other side.
So no matter what, you're going to get flack on both sides, is what you're saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's always going to be
like American politics.
On your show, it's going to be, controversial. So.
Okay. I'm going to bring this up really quick. Megan Sue, do any of you watch The Crown? How accurate do you think it is? Jason, will you cover this? I find it fascinating. Yes, we watch The Crown. Jason,
yes, and as an artistic endeavor, it's amazing. It's incredible. The cinematography is amazing. The costumes are amazing. The acting is amazing. Is it, step by step? You don't know. No one knows what happens behind closed doors. And that's something that is so interesting and mysterious about the royal family. And then you don't really, the whole Meghan Markle and Harry thing has forced the royal family to open up a little bit, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, whether, I have mixed feelings on it. I'm still not sure on where I stand on all of that. And I just really want to kind of dive in and discuss it a little more. But yeah, right. Is the Crown accurate? Probably 100%, and not. You don't know those conversations. That there were certain events that did happen. It's an amazing story. I've heard that the royals themselves enjoy watching it. So,
all right. I'm going to go ahead and change up the topic really quick. But if you guys want to hear about the royal news, Jason's going to be covering that on Fridays, I believe. If not, he will correct me.
I am going to cover it whenever Femtero and Joanne are available.
Okay. All right. So guys, we're going to switch this up really quick before we end off this video because Sue gave us a couple of super chats asking about Vanderpump Rules. It's a world that we know very well, unfortunately. But we do, and Vanderpump Rules Season 9 is coming out with a much smaller cast. Let me bring them up. So we have Lala Kent on the left to Tom Sandoval, Katie Maloney looking great, the Queen LVP, Sheena Marie, James Kennedy, and the one with my logo over his face, again, would be Brock Davies. Guys, if you want to talk about this season, it's going to be more interesting than what we thought. If you didn't watch the trailer, you should go watch the trailer. Jason and I thought it was going to be an absolute dumpster fire of a season, but I think we were both pleasantly surprised, and there's a lot that's happening. What I do also want to add to is they're really overselling Lala on this, because if you read the description and her bio on Bravo, they're like, Lala Kemp just gave birth and she's discovering motherhood as she won't let Randall Emmett, her fiance, have any of the responsibilities, and she tries to manage her household staff. I was like, what the hell is going on here? That's your description? That's the description they gave you? I hope it's good. I don't know. It just looks like a bunch of frat boys and sorority girls running around and being crazy. I love some of these people. Like, I loved hanging around some of them, and I loved working with the Toms. We'll have to see. This is too soon to tell. The trailer did not.
It honestly, it surprised me because, working there for almost 5 years, I was running Pump and I opened TomTom. My staff would have been much more interesting if you just put cameras in Pump. That would have been a disaster of a shit. The ratings would have been off the hook because they're all a disaster, and it's so funny. But they're also amazing. They have great hearts, but they're very catty and funny. I was expecting this. I was just expecting this season maybe they would bring in a little fresh blood or whatever, and I was like, this is not going to work. But to be completely honest, the trailer kind of looked good. But how long can you run with this cast, and how far are we going to go with them? I do like seeing the whole atmosphere of the restaurant. I like to see them working. I like to see Lisa come in and, do what she does. So I don't know. We'll see. It looks good though. At least for one more season.
Campfire, are you looking forward to the new season?
I don't watch Vanderpump Rules. That's probably the only show on Bravo I don't watch. I agree with Jason. I thought after everything that happened that they were going to revamp the entire cast, but Bravo's not brave enough to do something like that.
Don't shade my network.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, you really could have filled it with fresh blood. You could have put new people in there. There are plenty. My staff was amazing.
Yeah. So was our
Adam
staff.
and I. Yeah, no, fantastic. But I don't know if that's a different show. Adam and I go back and forth with this all the time. Vanderpump Rules is now its own cast, it's its own entity, it's its own thing. Yeah. But I would love to see a show about the restaurants with Lisa and even Ken. Ken is such a driving force in those restaurants. Yeah. I can't even tell you. People also ask me all the time too, does Lisa actually come into our restaurants? Yes. She dined at Pump 4 nights a week. It was the most
it's so
awful. It's just the most stressful 3 hours of my life when everyone comes in with their friends and everything has to go the right way. And then none of the servers want to handle her because they, she points out everything. She sees everything. She knows her business. Ken knows his business very well. Pandora and Jason they know the business very well. I'd like to see more of that though. Right now they're building a restaurant empire. Not only do they have allegedly a new restaurant opening in West Hollywood, they have a new restaurant.
And we got to get you on the right. They're doing that.
They have a new restaurant opening in Las Vegas. There was plans at one point for other places. So I'm curious to see what would happen, but I would love to follow that empire a little more. I would love to kind of see that. I don't really care about Lala and Sheena and what they're doing as parents. Like I have cousins and sisters who have kids and I see what they're doing. I want to see what you're going to do. I'd rather see, let's follow the empire.
Can I say something really quick? And then I want to go to Tara to ask.
You asked the question. No,
I'm just kidding. So this is what fascinates me about this woman. She literally has 3 restaurants on the same block. It looks like, like a bottom part of a square. And she starts off and has a drink and appetizer at Sir. She sees everybody. Hello, Lisa. Hey, great. She comes, makes an appearance. The whole restaurant goes crazy. And then she's like, bye, darling, gotta go. And then she goes and has dinner at Pump, walks down the street. Well, they take their Rolls Royce 500 feet down the street. And then they end up going to Pump. And then they have dinner. They have a great dinner where they have rosé and they have everything. And Jason used to be a big part of that. And then 2 restaurants over, they would walk over and come to Tom Tom, and it would be like a nightcap, a drink. And every single restaurant, it was like she was hitting the nail on the head because she would get all of the restaurants. Everybody would go nuts. Everybody would see them from the outdoor windows. They would come in just to buy a drink, just to be next to her. And then Lisa would be like, okay, well, I'm done. And then everybody would start kind of hanging out and gathering. And then they would stay in the restaurant the rest of the night because there was a vibe. It's so business savvy. And if there were to be a show about Lisa, I'm so good with canning Vanderpump Rules. I want to see a show that follows her navigating all of her businesses and her over-the-top lavish lifestyle. Because if you want to talk about a real housewife, that is a real housewife.
Just we need her back on the show.
Well, she won't do that though because
I
she
don't
doesn't
know.
need it.
Yeah.
But I do want to bring this up really quick before we talk to Femtero. Jacqueline Vasquez, thank you so much for the super chat, super sticker. Femtero, are you here for Vanderpump Rules or could you do without?
I don't know. I skipped last season. I didn't watch last season, to be honest. I wasn't into it. I'm not sure I'm into it now. I'm not sure I'm into watching them having babies and acting. I agree with all of you. I would rather see a new cast and, for them to revamp the show completely, bring fresh blood in and just maybe twist things around. I would also, but I like the idea, Adam, of having a show just following Lisa Vanderpump. I mean, that would be a great show. How is
she has this partnership now with Nick Lane, who's an incredible designer who designed Tom Tom, Vanderpump Garden in Las Vegas, and who's going to do the new Vanderpump Lounge in Paris. He's incredible. He did a hotel in North Carolina that is exquisite. I would love to see more of that. That's what I want to see. I don't really want to. I really don't care. Again, what Lala and Sheena are doing with their anything, but
But we know how Bravo
it's seen stay.
Just to give you guys an idea too, this guy's work is so beautiful and it's so over the top. He designed the clock. He designed it. If you look up at the numbers, they go backwards. And it was supposed to be a thing, like as the time go, like you're supposed to be going backwards in time, the more drunk that you get. Like it was a whole thing. He had ideas, the bulbs, the chandeliers within the bulbs. Like this guy,
and all those little chandeliers above the bar, those tiny ones have love potion number 9 in them, and they're all designed differently, and everything has a meaning. He's incredible. I mean, Lisa by herself, what she did with Pump was incredible. She does have a style though that does Sir and Pump look a little similar, whereas like Tom Tom looks completely different. But yeah, I would love to see more of that.
You're right.
Megan, thank you for the super chat. Adam and Jason, what is it like watching Vanderpump Rules? Do you know that they are getting bad edits, or is it real? I like Sheena, but what we see is different. I'll chime in on this for a second. Sheena was actually my first friend when I moved to Los Angeles, and she was an absolute sweetheart and the reason I got my job at Sir. I have nothing bad to say about Sheena. Was she boy crazy for a while? Yes. Does she love attention? Yeah. But what reality TV star doesn't? Just to be fair. And do they get bad edits? I don't know if it's necessarily bad edits because nobody's making you act like a fool. But what I can say is, and I think everybody here would probably agree to this, Bravo is going to take the majority of how you act and you're going to become a character. And then when you become that character, they're going to take those edits and play into that character. So Jax was an ass. They're going to make Jax look more like an ass. Sheena, boy crazy Sheena. Stassi's a villain. It doesn't take much. Those are their personalities. But we've almost gone into 2 hours, and I see, again, like I said, my camera's going. I need to get a new battery for this thing. I normally don't stream for this long.
Wait, do you have a dummy battery or you have a regular battery?
I have a battery pack on top of my camera because I'm using a Sony ZV-1.
Get a dummy battery. You won't have that issue anymore.
Isn't the battery pack the same thing?
I'm not. We'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, we'll talk after.
I'll have to call Dana and then I'll call you. Okay. All right. All right, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. I'm going to go around the room just so we know exactly where we can find everybody. Thank you for everyone who stayed in the chat with us this long, to hold over 800 and something people this whole time. It was great because we popped all over the place. Thank you to Zach Peter for joining us. Also Dana Wilkie, who they're not here on the chat anymore. If you guys aren't following them, make sure you go follow them. Femtaro, Campfire, Jason, I appreciate all of you guys. Natalie, we'll start with you and we'll work our way around the room.
Right, so you can find me here on YouTube. My channel is called Femtaro, and on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And I know Campire's been pushing me to do some TikToks, and I'll be doing that soon as well. So,
all right, he just pushes my buttons, but not me to do TikTok.
I cannot understand TikTok to save my life.
What's going on?
I'm always giving people business advice. They just don't take it.
Okay. All right, Femtaro, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. And I'll also be messaging you after this.
Of course.
All right. Well, actually, I'll message you tomorrow because I know it's time for bed.
Okay, message me whenever. I'll see it. I'll reply.
Okay. All right. Good night, Natalie.
Bye.
Bye, Natalie.
All right, Campfire.
You guys can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, Campfire Daily, for daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. And of course, subscribe to my podcast, available on all podcast platforms, Campfire Radio. Thank you guys. This was fun.
Thank you, Campfire.
Thanks, Campfire. I appreciate it. Are we talking tomorrow?
Are we?
Oh, we have 90 Day in Potomac to do. You want to join in?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Can we? I want to cover this Mormon boy a little bit on TLC.
Oh my gosh, it's Campire's favorite.
I feel like, on Salt Lake City, and those are not Mormons. He's a little more. I just wish there was a different perception of Mormons, but they do it to themselves.
That's actually, I didn't even.
Yeah. I want to answer those questions because I remember them all from last week when you guys talked.
Before the chat depletes, guys, also stop being hateful in the chat. If you're being hateful, we're going to end up hiding user from channel. We're not going to condone it, just to be fair. If you're modding in there, we appreciate you. And if you're in the chat, just that's not what it's here for. It's a community chat. So it's a holiday weekend. Compose yourself. That's all.
Take the labor off. Relax.
Yeah. We're also going to be covering 90 Day Fiancé tomorrow with Jason and hopefully Campfire if he's around, and also Potomac. So we will be doing.
I'm only doing it if Campire's there.
Oh my god!
No, I'm just kidding. All right, Campfire. Well, you heard it from Jason. So, Campfire, thank you so much, and we will see you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Campfire.
Good night. All right, and before we go, I saw one super chat and I don't want to miss it. I really want to see Vanderpump Baby spinoff, said no one, with Stassi, Brittany, Kristen, Tina, Lala, and Katie.
See, that is a more appropriate show. I would love to see that too on a different show. Vanderpump Rules, though, do you save that? No, I don't know.
Over it. Okay.
We're over it. I would love to see it. We need at least a Vanderpump lifestyle thing and not overserved.
All right.
But that,
Well, guys, Jason, actually.
Well, yeah, actually, thanks for having me on. My channel is called Down with Jason. I'm going to cover a lot of the same topics as Adam. I have a very different opinion. We are 10 years apart. We have different backgrounds, and I'm excited. But also, I'm going to cover a lot of the royal stuff too. I want to hit both sides of it. There's a lot of things that people don't know about that I'm just becoming aware of, and I do have a lot of great insiders coming in. So I can't wait to start that.
Well, guys, that means go follow Jason because he's going to start launching a ton of new content starting tomorrow. So you can follow him at Down with Jason. You can also find him in the description of this video. I've actually been checking his YouTube as we've been going, and you've gotten over almost 300 new subscribers since we've been on here. So guys,
I appreciate it. And you know what? I do want to hear from everyone because it's going to be a lot of fun. It really is.
Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Like Campfire said, go follow Campfire, Natalie Femtaro, Down with Jason, Zach Peter, and Dana Wilkie. Also, thank you to our special guest, Joanne. We appreciate you guys. Now, if you haven't already, go grab a glass of wine because 90 Day Fiancé and also Real Housewives of Potomac is coming up. You will never get a 2-hour live out of me again. Bye, guys.
Happy Labor Day. Bye, guys.
Bye. Smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you guys all for the super chats and super stickers. And also thank you to all of our mods. Happy Labor Day weekend, guys. Be safe. Drive safe. Seriously. We love you guys. Happy Sunday Fun Day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.